This week in MXA, presented by O'Neill Racing, we are looking ahead to the upcoming motocross destinations at Ironman. Team Australia versus Team USA versus the world. That's what motocross destinations is all about. The MXGP riders are racing each other year-round, country versus country, all the time, but now is when we add in the rest of the guys. Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence representing Team Australia with Kyle Webster on the 250, and also Team USA. This is going to be the last race for Eli Tomac on the Star Racing Yamaha. A heartbreaking to see him leave Yamaha and go to KTM next year, but it's the final chance for us to see, and we're excited to see him kick some butt this weekend at Ironman and lead Team USA. One more thing on Eli Tomac, his brother Greg is a pilot in the US Air Force, and guess what? He's going to be doing the flyover during the Ironman national anthem while his brother is on the line. How much cooler can that get? And they're not going to be flying over in F-16 jets. No, they're going to be flying over in a C-17 transporter. This thing is like a humpback whale flying through the sky. Massive plane. Really cool to see the Tomac brothers be able to do that. So that's going to be happening this weekend at Ironman. Eli Tomac, last race on Yamaha. Of course, RJ Hampshire is filling in for Chase Sexton. It's been now 2 years in a row that the SMX finale has taken out Chase Sexton and caused him to miss the motocross designations. Last year, he got landed on by Justin Barcia. That was Chase's mistake by cutting under Justin Barcia early in the race, and that caused him to miss motocross designations. This year, he had a massive crash at the end of Moto2. He was knocked out on the track for over 5 minutes, and it was really a wonder why they did not red flag the race. If they did red flag the race, Hunter Lawrence would have been the champion, and a lot of people would have been really frustrated with the series because they missed the second motos at Charlotte. It just would have been a bad look for SMX. So unfortunately, Chase Sexton, massive crash, will not be racing motocross designations. We're glad that he is relatively okay from that crash. Another rider, Haiden Deegan, he'll be representing in the 250 class. For a while there, it looked... Haiden Deegan is officially out. When we originally recorded this video yesterday at Glen Helen, I don't even know what a beluga whale is, just a big whale. A beluga whale. Is it one of the big ones with the long mouth? Like the big long... Haiden Deegan was planning to be in. All signs were green, and he was going to be riding, racing, and representing Team USA, even with a plate in his collarbone. It's been done before. Ryan Dungey has broken his collarbone, got it plated, raced the very next weekend. Even last year, when Cody Schock got some help getting bumped off the track by Haiden Deegan in the middle of the Supercross season, he came back and raced the very next weekend after getting his collarbone plated. And so it's been done before, but Haiden Deegan rode on Tuesday before motocross designations, and the team and him decided wasn't at full speed, wasn't up to race pace, and wouldn't be worth it going racing this weekend. So Justin Cooper is tagged back in racing the MX2 class. Last time he did this was 2022 at Redbud when Team USA won, and we're hoping Justin Cooper can do similar fashion this weekend. He won the MX2 class at Redbud that year, and hopefully he can do it again this weekend and represent for Team USA. In the open class, it is RJ Hampshire on the Husqvarna, so excited to see how he does. He rode so well this year, and he's definitely in a much better form now than he was in 2023 when he represented on the 250. RJ is just such an impressive 450 rider. He was always so erratic and kind of sketchy on the 250, but that's because you have to ride that thing wide open. His riding style actually calms down when he has more power on the Husky 450. So motocross action will be representing. So yeah, should be good. For the rest of this video, let's head back to Glen Helen. Team Australia is going to be the team to beat after a string of 3 impressive runs at motocross destinations. Started out with their podium at Redbud Motocross Nations in 2022. Then in 2023 in France, they finished second, their best at Motocross Nations. And then last year in Great Britain at Matterley Basin, they won Motocross Nations for Team Australia. It was the 77th annual running of Motocross Destinations, and the first time for Australia to get the Peter Chamberlain Trophy and getting the win with Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, and Kyle Webster for Team Australia. Now coming into Ironman this year, they've got a string of podiums, a win last year, and it's going to be hard to beat them. Kyle Webster, the national champion in the 450 class in the Australian Championship, he's dropping down to a 250 once again, going to be riding that factory HRC Honda 250, and it's going to be hard to beat the Lawrence brothers and Kyle Webster. Also looking back, Team France, they won in 2023 at Ernay, and they're going to be racing again this weekend, but they're going to be missing Tom Vial in the MX2 class. He has officially moved up to the 450 class. And he's officially moved from KTM to Honda. The HRC Honda team will be announcing him moving back to MXGPs very soon. And they'll also be announcing that he will be racing in the World Supercross Series on an HRC factory Honda 450. So big news for World Supercross, big news for Tom Vial, and honestly a bummer for USA to lose a talent like him, a two-time Supercross champion now. Going back to Europe was a little odd to see, but it's cool for him and we're excited for him to see what happens next. Also on the World Supercross front, Haiden Deegan racing in Buenos Aires, round 2 of the World Supercross Series. That's huge news. And also he's teasing that he might be racing in Australia as well. Another team always battling at the front at Motocross Destinations is Team Netherlands, and they will be missing their top rider, Jeffrey Herlings, this weekend in a very, very surprising event. Last time Jeffrey Herlings raced at Ironman was 2017. It was the one time he came over and raced an AMA National, and he went 1-1 on the day, including the second moto where he crashed on the start. He passed through the pack. He was 22nd on the first lap. He came all the way to first place to win the moto, from dead last to first, beating Eli Tomac, beating all the Americans at the last round of the AMA National Championship at Ironman. It is just mind-boggling that we will not see Jeffrey Herlings racing this weekend after he was so dominant there in 2017. And I got the wildest experience. I actually tied Jeffrey Herlings in the championship as I raced all the nationals in 2017. I scored 50 points total, where he showed up at the last round, scored 50 points in one day, and we tied on the championship, but he got the tiebreaker, being that he won a race and I didn't. So that's a fun bit of history for me, and I can claim that I tied him in the championship. I'm the only rider to ever tie Jeffrey Herlings in any kind of championship. So that's always fun to think about, but heartbreaking and weird to see that he's not racing this weekend for Team Netherlands. Instead, they will have Calvin Vlanderen, Kai de Wolf, and Glenn Koldenhoff representing for Jeffrey Herlings, representing for the Netherlands this weekend. Jeffrey Herlings got multiple wins at the end of the MXGP season, but he did have a collarbone injury in the middle of the season, and he is also switching from KTM to Honda next year. So it's surprising that he won't be racing. Maybe not as surprising because he's switching teams, but when you think about it, he's still doing some off-season races on a KTM right now in Europe. So it really doesn't make sense. He's not even riding a Honda yet, kind of unsure, and we're still trying to dig into the details and figure out why he's not racing this weekend. But he is an absolute weapon on a motorcycle, and it's going to be a bummer to miss him. But if you're not watching in person at Ironman this weekend, MXGP TV will be streaming the races. But if you're not already signed up with them, you can watch the races live on CBS. It'll start at 1 p.m. at Ironman in Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on CBS, live on TV. Or if you don't have the CBS network, you can sign up for Paramount Plus. There's a free trial going on right now, so you can watch this weekend for free and just cancel after the weekend. So thank you guys for tuning in this week in MXA. I will be headed to Ironman. We'll be covering Motocross Destinations this weekend. So if there's any kind of video ideas you guys have, questions for riders, or any kind of information you want to see from behind the scenes this weekend at Ironman, MXA's Trevor Nelson, Dennis Stapleton, and myself will be running around with cameras capturing all the action. So be sure to stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at Ironman. Motocross Destinations is happening this weekend, and in This Week in MXA episode 249, presented by O'Neill, we're looking ahead to this weekend's Ironman 2025. This Week in MXA, presented by O'Neill, we are looking ahead to the upcoming Ironman 2025 FIM Motocross. Okay, don't need that. This Week in MXA episode